In today's video, we will be taking a look at my updated 2024 Senate prediction as of today, May 1st of 2023. Now, as you can see on screen right now, Republicans have a huge advantage to start off with. Republicans with 40 seats and Democrats with 38 seats, plus 2 independents that caucus with the Democratic Party, being Angus Kane of Maine and, of course, Bernie Sanders of Vermont. So, as you can see by those numbers, Democrats are definitely playing defense here because they have to defend many Democrats in vulnerable states like Montana, West Virginia, and Ohio, states that have Democratic senators up for re-election but voted for Trump by pretty large margins. So, we're going to get right into today's video. Now, I'm going to start off by giving Democrats their likely states. First off is the state of New Mexico. So this was a safe seat back in 2018, the last time this exact seat was up, in which Democrats won by nearly 25 points. But that was because the Libertarian candidate took away 15 points of votes, 50% of the votes that would have likely went to the Republican if he was not in the race. Now, as well as that, the state of West Virginia with Tim Kaine, I think he is obviously going to win, if not by a safe margin. And finally, Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota is very well liked, and she should be able to win re-election, as I predict, as she was able to win by around 25 points last time round. So that brings the Democrats to 41 seats, or technically 43 if you count the 2 independents that caucus with the Democratic Party. Now going to the Republican likely states. Now the 2 likely Republican states are pretty obvious, Texas and Florida. I don't think that is too surprising here. Both of these have currently Republican incumbents that are highly unexpected to lose. So Texas with Ted Cruz and Florida with Rick Scott. Now it's pretty obvious both of these incumbents are going to hold on. Ted Cruz only won by 2 points against Beto O'Rourke, but now O'Rourke is less popular because of his more aggressive approaches to issues like gun restrictions. And for the state of Florida, this has been a trending Republican state, and I think that Republicans will be able to hang on pretty easily. Now, the final few states on the map right now are considered the most competitive states. I'm just going to get one out of the way here. So West Virginia, I think definitely Joe Manchin not going to win re-election. I don't think that's too surprising. He is in a Republican plus 40 state, and even though you can typically outrun the generic mainstream Democrats in West Virginia, that's not going to be enough for you to win the state. You need around what looks like to be around 40% of Republicans to vote for you to end up holding on to the seat, which is just not possible. So Republicans have already have 50 seats, so they will at least not end up losing the Senate. And there are still 7 states to go. Now for the Democratic lean states here, first off, Michigan is a lean state for the Democratic Party. Now in 2018, Debbie Stabenow won by around 7 points, and I think she should be able to win again. Although this is a presidential election year, I think that she is just a pretty decent candidate to end up winning re-election. And I also think that Michigan is the most liberal state out of the 3 Rust Belt states, also called the Blue Wall, in which Democrats desperately need to win the presidential election. And I think Democrats will be able to win the state of Michigan, as well as that Pennsylvania is also considered a lean state for the Democratic Party. Reason being, Bob Casey, the incumbent in Pennsylvania, won by 13 points in his re-election bid, which wasn't that surprising, but nonetheless a very impressive margin for the Democratic candidate in Pennsylvania. And that will be the 2 lean Democratic states here. Now for lean Republican states, I think we have 2 here. So for the state of Ohio, this will be considered a lean Republican state. Now, Sherrod Brown was able to win by a pretty impressive 8 points or 7 points in Ohio back in 2018, but that does not mean he is necessarily going to win re-election again. Last time, Jim Nernacci basically gave up as he was down by upwards of 15 points in some polls. But this time it will be a much more competitive race because this is is in a general election year where the presidential race is on the ballot, where there would be more Republicans voting and potentially Sherrod Brown being unseated. And as well as that, the state of Montana here, Jon Tester has been in a fight for his life the first day he was elected 18 years ago. He has served 3 terms and has won by very narrow margins in all 3 of them, by around 3% in all 3 of those races. And I think at the end of the day, this is the election he's going to lose in. American polarization has been much more significant. Plus, the fact that Montana is this red just doesn't help Jon Tester's case, especially because other incumbents, such as Sherrod Brown in Ohio and Manchin in West Virginia, have had incredibly large re-election victories when they first took office, but not for Jon Tester. Now for the final 3 races that are left to be decided, Democrats have 45 and Republicans have 52. So first off, the state of Wisconsin here, I do want to give that to the Democrats. I think at the end of the day, Democrats will have a very good shot at the state of Wisconsin. Tammy Baldwin won by more than 10 points in Wisconsin last time, and although this was a very friendly environment for the Democratic Party in 2018, at the end of the day, I think Democrats are going to be able to win the state of Wisconsin because their incumbents in the Rust Belt in 2024 are generally speaking pretty strong. And now for the state of Nevada. I think at the end of the day, Rosen might be able to hang on because of the fact that I don't think this will be that bad for Democrats at the end of the day. Although Democrats are definitely playing defense in most of these races, I think the fact that she was able to unseat the incumbent Republican by 5 points, being Dean Heller, back in 2018 is still quite significant, especially considering many people did expect her to lose. However, Arizona here, Kristen Sinema is now an independent, and although she still caucuses with the Democrats, she is currently polling in 3rd in the general election polling. She is taking away 15% of the vote, but it looks like those votes are mainly coming from Democrats. And at the end of the day, a third party that previously sided with the Democrats are likely to split away more votes from the Democratic Party. And I think for that reason alone, Democrats will have a very tough shot of holding onto this seat, and I think Kristen Sinema will end up losing re-election, and Democrats will lose the seat as a whole, giving Republicans 53 to Democrats 45, plus 2 to independents that caucus with the Democratic Party. Anyways, thank you for watching today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.